The crypto markets are pumping once again. So in this video, we're going to talk about what's going on in the crypto land, what's going on in NFTs, as well as some major updates on some of the biggest NFT projects. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, right off the bat, the first thing we got to cover is what's going on in the crypto market. So you can definitely see that Bitcoin is pumping all the way to 21,000 and Ethereum is even at that $1,500 range. So you can see for the past 7 days, it's been going up quite a lot. Now, a lot of people are speculating, especially if you are on NFT Twitter and crypto Twitter, is that this is a bull trap, right? What a bull trap means is that, things are pumping, people are FOMOing in, and then what typically happens after that is the price will dump, and when you buying at the top, someone is going to make money, right? And so you have to understand, like during a bear market when things are trading sideways, there's usually these things happening where, it kind of go up and down, it fluctuates, but it kind of stays within a range. So over the last couple of days during this pump, apparently there has been $700 million liquidated in crypto as Bitcoin touches 21K, right? So you have to always understand this is a player versus player game. Some people are betting on the price of Bitcoin and other assets going down. Other people are betting that it's going to go up, right? So essentially when people take leverage, meaning that they take out loans essentially to multiply the amount of money they can make, if they guess correctly, they'll make more money. But on the reverse case, if they are wrong and the market pumps up, and because the market's relatively small, people can force pump or they can force buy, increase the price of everything. People who bet that it's going to go down will get liquidated, and that's pretty much what that is, right? And so you have to understand, you have to be very careful when it comes to using leverage, taking out loans against crypto. I would not recommend it if you are a beginner, so just keep that in mind. So first piece of news that we're going to cover is going to be DigiDaigaku Limit Break, which is the parent company, and they're releasing this new, let's call it a protocol, right? Or just system that people can use, and I believe they're going to make it open source. They have this Medium article over here, which is like very long and very complicated for people who are just like kind of getting into NFTs. So what I've done is I kind of broke down the most important points into like a couple bullet points for you here. So basically with this new open source software, there's going to be a couple new things going on here. And the most important one is actually sharing royalties. So basically if you use their open source software, you are going to be able to make your NFT collection have this ability for your holders to earn a royalty, right? So in the past, what happened is, OpenSea and any other marketplace will take a royalty, and then the project will take a royalty. So what this allows you to do is it allows the holder to actually generate a royalty in perpetuity, which is really great because now everybody is incentivized as there's more trading volume, right? And so everybody can win in that regard. So that's the first reason why this is really interesting. The second thing is Limit Break is also introducing technology that will allow people who don't even hold the NFT to earn a royalty, right? So for example, there's going to be like a new type of affiliate marketing. So let's say I'm a content creator on YouTube with the Parallax. If I talk about, I don't know, DigiDaigaku or Azuki or whatever the case is, I can put a link in my description. As people learn about a project because of me, they click the link in my description, I can earn a royalty based on the assets that they buy. And that's a very new thing because prior to this, there's no way it existed. So yeah, I think that's a natural progression when it comes to creators earning revenue through recommending different projects and having a way to track that. Because right now there's no really like tracking software to see like if I talk about a project, do I get paid for that? Well, right now I don't get paid for anything, right? So if I had this or this became more prevalent, then content creators like myself can get paid for talking about different projects in a very transparent way because it's all on the blockchain. Also, some other interesting features like guaranteed minimum floor prices. So let's say I'm a project founder and I am selling something or minting something for 0.2, right? And I don't want my floor to crash. In general, this happens all the time for any project, right? So you can say, hey, the minimum you can sell it is for 0.2, and this is enforced across all platforms, all marketplaces. So the floor will never go below mint, right? And so these kind of innovations is very interesting for Limit Break because it actually does push the space forward. And I do really feel like they're solving a lot of problems in the NFT space by releasing this. I believe they said that this is all going to be open source and everybody can use it, which I definitely respect. That is definitely a push forward in the NFT scene. The last really interesting thing for me, at least, is that you can connect your NFTs to something that happens in the game, right? So let's say you play a game, you go on quests, you level up your character. How does that influence the NFT? So this technology allows you to make changes to that NFT based on what happened in the game, right? And so it allows, an NFT to connect to different things and actually change that NFT over time. After this piece of news and, there's been a lot of hype around DigiDaigaku. The floor price has increased from 10 Ethereum all the way to almost 13 Ethereum. And also 4 months from now, the time of this recording, there's going to be a Super Bowl ad for DigiDaigaku. So who knows if that will create a lot of attention and buzz for the project. It's going to be the first ad of its kind for an NFT PFP project. So I'm curious to see what's going on over there. Okay, so the next piece of news that we have is going to be Azuki. So Azuki launched this thing on its anniversary. So it's been 1 year since Azuki has launched. It's called the Hiluma. So Hiluma, and it's basically like this world that you can click into. It kind of reminds me of like the Hidden Leaf Village from Naruto a little bit. But anyway, so you click into it. It's kind of like showing you different places within this map, right? What I personally found interesting was that a lot of the things that have been happening within Azuki on the community on Twitter and stuff, they actually implemented it into the lore of their world. So an example of that, if you click over here, it's going to be called 56 Fitness. So the strongest community is one that grows together. Apparently they have a bunch of people over here that were involved in previous community events, right? And so as you click around the different places, they're going to have different lore and different buildings that are kind of highlighting stories that have happened. Like over here on the top right, there's going to be the winners of Love Island, right? Which was this whole Azuki event that got a lot of traction on Twitter. So it's really interesting to see how they're building this IP in a way that is very collaborative with the community, right? Because these are literally the community members that are on the Azuki website, which is cool. They have the Golden Skate Park over here where, of course, you know, Azuki did the Golden Skateboard auction. I mean, so they're kind of probably paying tribute to that. And I'm sure like in the future, you're going to be able to go into these places and maybe they'll have different experience. What I personally found interesting is like, let's say when we go into Ember Square. So apparently they're going to be like designs and styles, far corners of the garden. So maybe this is a place where you're going to be able to purchase products in the future. So like different designs, different products. You know, it doesn't specify what it is, but I would imagine this is a store where people shop, right? We have Slowpokes over here, which is a toy store, right? So maybe this is where you're going to buy merchandise for beans, for example, right? And so you can kind of see how Azuki is setting up their world. And you know, you can't really do anything within this world besides click on a different pieces of buildings. But I really do believe in the future, these are going to be like stores where you click into and then you can actually like purchase maybe limited edition products based on whether you have an Azuki or not, or maybe you can just buy things using crypto or your credit card. That's definitely a future that I see based on this. And I would say like the drawings of the buildings itself, I'm a pretty big fan. They look pretty good if you click into it. Like these are pretty nice itself. I mean, it's not like super big news in terms of like there's not like an airdrop or you're not going to get a new NFT, but I definitely can respect a project like building the foundations for a long term of what could be. Okay, so next piece of news we have is going to be Logan Paul. And if you didn't know, way back during the bull market, he launched this project with a couple other people called CryptoZoo. And in the end, the project didn't really work out that well. There's like a lot of scams, and Coffeezilla did a whole 3-part video series about this. So I'm not going to go into it because that's not what this channel is about. In the end, because the project wasn't great, what they're doing is they're allowing people who have these assets to burn their egg or their NFT to get the mint price back, which is 0.1 ETH. Apparently, he's personally committing 1.3 million to players who want to get out. But on top of that, they're going to go finish the game, and whatever they promise, they're going to try to build that, right? So a lot of people are calling this like a scam and a rug pull and stuff like that. But if he's offering people their money back, essentially giving people a refund, then you know you can't really call it a scam anymore because you can get your money back. But you can also argue that, hey, you know, he's only doing this because of all the negative attention that it's bringing onto him. So you know, different ways to look at this. But in the end, if he offers a refund and tries to make things right, I think that's the most important thing that counts, right? Someone's intention. So the next piece of news we have is going to be Bored Ape Yacht Club. As you know, they have a new mint coming up. When you're looking at this is what the game is essentially going to look like. So essentially, this is how it works. You get a free pass. You have a Bored Ape Mutiny, you have a Bored Kennel Club. You take that pass, you play the game, and then you basically play the game to accumulate points on your pass. The higher points you have on your pass, you're going to be able to claim a better prize, right? So, you know, everyone's going to play this game to get the highest amount of points so they could claim the best prize. Once you actually have your pass and it has points on it, you're going to be able to mint depending on how many points you have. And then whatever this thing is, right now it is a mystery, but they say you better keep it for 2023 because somehow it's going to evolve. Yes, I know it's very cryptic. And yes, when I look at this, it's actually very confusing to understand all the different aspects of it, but that's pretty much what it is. With that said, that's everything we got to cover with the NFT market now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and I'm going to see you in the next one.